Hey, good morning. Good morning. It is August 15th, 2024. So if you're watching this in 2035, you're right. It's pre-recorded. But today it is live, and we are talking with our trailblazer of the year for 2024, our Now Honors and Power of Pink trailblazer. I cannot wait for you guys to meet her. But first, you need to know what we're talking about. The Now Honors, Network of Outstanding Women, Power of Pink Summit, October 3rd through the 5th. At the Palms Hotel and Casino inside the amazing Brendan Theater. Yeah, that screen is about 45 feet wide. So the ladies are going to be larger than life above their head when we do this. And our trailblazer is so used to being on camera. She's going to just be amazing. You don't want to miss it. Lori McNeil is here. Hey, Lori, what's happening?
Hey, I am fabulous. How are you?
I am absolutely outstanding. If the weather would get just under the 100 mark, I would probably be dancing outside because I'm in Las Vegas right now. But we're happy about it being 103. Think about that. Oh, it's only 103. Where are you in the world?
Well, today I'm actually in Oregon, and I say that with a little bit of a grin because I'm always on a plane somewhere.
Do you wake up and go, where am I?
Sometimes I do, and not only where am I, but what day is it and what time zone am I in?
Wow.
Like,
Wow.
great. So
We met at Mel Mason's shoot. You came into Vegas. Thank you so much. And we met there. And when I met you, I was like, oh my goodness, I'm listening to your story and I'm supposed to be directing. And I'm looking out from behind the monitors and the cameras going, she does what? She is where? There's our trailblazer of the year. I hope she doesn't think I'm crazy when I go over to her and say, hey, you don't know me, but I want you to be our trailblazer. The things that you're doing are absolutely amazing.
Oh, thank you. I feel so blessed. And I know that sounds a little, cliche, and there's a lot of amazing people out there doing amazing things that they feel blessed by what they do. My story has been so, just so interesting isn't even the right word because there's been so many different things along the path with how I even came from, poverty and living out of a conversion van with a family of 7 to my first stick-built house to nobody even thinking I was going to graduate from college to all kinds of different challenges along the way to not only graduating from college, but I currently have 3 bachelors, 3 masters, 2 doctorates, and 27 certifications. And I get to travel the world regularly, helping people build out their businesses and step into a greater version of who they are in a way that gives them that bigger vision for overall legacy and building out true legacy, not just building a business. And this is something that is truly passionate within me that actually stems from when I was younger. When you grow up in poverty, you don't even necessarily know where the next meal is going to come from day to day. Mm-hmm. So to get from that to I want to help people understand the bigger vision, bigger purpose for their life and build out that vision that goes beyond them, beyond whatever they're experiencing this day, this week, or this year. And there's so many amazing things that have stemmed from that I get to do every single day. And I absolutely love it.
You are the most educated person I have ever interviewed. I'm sitting here going, wait a minute, what? Are you serious? But on top of that, you're truly a teacher. Mm-hmm. You've taught in prisons, you've taught young people, you're teaching entrepreneurs. You're truly a teacher. Is teaching your passion?
I love teaching. And it's funny because I never thought, at a certain point, I never thought that I was qualified to be a teacher because growing up the way that I did, nobody expected me to, be very smart. I was the poor girl that wasn't very smart. That's the label that I kind of owned for a long time before I realized that I didn't have to own that label. But so that messed with my mind for a long time until that switch flipped. And then I realized I do have gifts and abilities. I do have value to offer to the world. And yes, I am a good teacher. And when I stepped into that, and I started stepping into that really young when I was asked to volunteer with different, youth group programs, in junior high and high school and different things like that. And I realized I love this. I love being that teacher, being that mentor, being that coach that helps people. And as I got older, I realized I started teaching at the collegiate level and at all different levels. And I realized the power of that light bulb moment, that power of understanding that I've offered value to someone that helps shift their mindset from wherever they are to where they want to be in a way that has changed their life forever, because they can't go back and unlearn something. So whatever it was in the time that I have spent with them, their life has been forever changed, and that light bulb goes off in their eyes, and you just know that they got it and that they're seeing and experiencing the world in a completely different way. And I don't take that for granted at all. And the true essence of everything that I do is really stems down to teaching. And I'm so grateful for my journey.
Right now, I'm sure there are tons of people watching that have limited beliefs and go, well, I would love to teach, or I think I'd be an amazing coach, but I was told, I'd never amount to anything. There may be a young person watching right now that is dreaming of going to college and being told, well, you can't go to college. You're not smart enough for college. What advice would you give them?
In that situation, because I experienced so many challenges for years with that. And in fact, part of my story actually stems from a high school counselor that I admired, I respected, I loved. And she called me into her office one day as all of my peers were making, college applications and making plans. And she said, well, Lori, what's your plan? And I said, well, I'm not even really sure, because nobody in my family had ever gone to college before. And I didn't know anything about how to even apply or anything like that. And she said, well, I think we need to start talking about, some other plans for you, because college might not be a good fit for you. And I remember leaving her office that day being really surprised by that and thinking, well, I didn't know if college was, but I didn't ever think that it wouldn't be an option. I always wanted that to be my choice and my option. And it messed with my head, because I thought, well, this is a person I love and I respect, and maybe she's right. And I thought, even if I'm wrong, there's that fire within me that wants to find out for myself. So
that's awesome.
My advice to people that are in that is, you have a fire within you for a reason. It might be a thought that keeps reoccurring. It might be an interest. It might be one person that's that light in your life, whatever that is. Hold on to that strongly, and don't ever let anyone say that you can't do something. Even if it's a friend or a family member that wants the best for you, you have to make the decisions that you feel are truly right for you, and to follow that calling and to step into the world in only a way that you were meant to. There is no such thing as competition. There is no such thing as failure. Those things don't exist. They are in our heads. And when we realize that, and we have that faith over fear, and we step out into that faith, then we actually begin to build that self-worth and build that courage the more that we realize what we were meant to do. And as we go down this road of trying to figure out what it is that we want in life and how we are going to use our internal gifts in order to solve those external problems that the world needs from us. So surround yourself with as many positive, supportive people as you can. But at the end of the day, you need to develop that discernment muscle in order to really tap into what it is that you desire. Napoleon Hill talks a lot about this. What do you truly desire? And what it is that you actually want. And it's okay that you don't have all the answers, but don't be afraid to take that next step in that journey of trying to figure it out, and surround yourself with as many positive, supportive people as possible, because there's plenty of people out there that don't want you to succeed. Hold on to those that do and run with it, and pour into yourself, whether that's books, whether that's podcasts, whether that's opportunities, surrounding yourself with the right people. Pour into the spirit and the heart, soul, and mind of what it is that you're after, what it is that you want, and go full speed ahead. Even if you're not totally sure what's on the other side, don't be afraid to take that next step and just journey down that road.
Absolutely, because nowadays, when I was a kid, there was no internet, there was no, smartphones, all that kind of stuff. And if you're in a neighborhood that is not the greatest, there's not a whole lot of people around you could surround yourself with. So you got to figure it out. But now, you can listen to you, to me, to
Yeah.
others virtually. You can have the best friends on social media that are positive and you can follow them, and it costs you nothing.
Right.
With AI, you could actually search for people under keywords and say, who does this, and actually follow them. So the opportunities are amazing right now. And I hope
Mhm.
people are paying attention, because you've been featured on some of the most amazing platforms in the world. I mean, you've been on the big four: ABC, NBC, Fox, CBS. I
Mhm.
just want to do one of them. I'm not greedy. You know, but you've been on the big four. I got to ask you, when you get ready to walk out on that stage or on that television set, or you're, at an event, that fire within you, do you sit there and go, watch what I do, for the people that along the way said, you can't do that? That's not you. Do you sit there and go, watch me? Here comes NBC. Is that you?
You know, there's a part of me, and especially when I was first transitioning and making that shift, because I was in that mindset of like, I'm gonna prove to myself, and I'm gonna prove to everyone that I can do it. And of course, there's a lot of pressure on me, because no one has ever gone to college before, and no one has ever done the things, that I'm doing. Not just that I've done, but that I'm continuing to do. And so there's a part of me that occasionally will think that, but for the most part, I want to reach my hand down and help people. And it's not about holding grudges. It's not about judgment. It's not about any of that. It's let me help you so that you don't struggle the way that I did, figuring everything out on my own, basically, kind of for the first time as I shifted into whatever that next level was. But it's really interesting, because there's always going to be, the naysayers, the haters, the whatever. No matter what level that you're at, there's people are out there all the time. And I think that the stronger version of a leader that you step into, the more that you understand there's hurt there, right? There's
Right.
limiting beliefs there. There's issues that
Right.
they are struggling with, and you always have a choice. I always have a choice with where my attitude is going to be, and my actions are going to be, and how I'm actually going to support other people who are struggling in ways that they probably don't even know. But to answer your question, yes, I felt like for a while I did have to prove to myself. I did have to prove to my family, or to some of the people that thought I wasn't going to amount to anything. It's really interesting, and you hear the story a lot. All these people have now come full circle, and they're like, wow.
Mine too.
Wow, I would have never thought that, the poor girl who wasn't very smart would be doing some of the things that you're doing. It just goes to prove to anyone that you truly can accomplish whatever it is that you want to accomplish. We all have challenges in our lives, and all whatever it is, we all have challenges, but you always have a choice in how you're going to navigate the world and how you're going to go after what you really want.
Absolutely, absolutely. My parents adopted me when I was 6 months old, and they were sharecroppers when they were kids. I didn't read about it in a book. I sat at the dining room table hearing sharecropper stories. So when I wanted to, start my first business at 10, my father looked at me and said, I know everybody marches to a different drummer, but what band plays in your head? You can't do that. And I'm like, what? Huh? Why can't I? So absolutely, I totally agree. But I've got to ask you, I know somebody else is out there looking, going, well, what kind of a teacher is she? What kind of a coach is she? So who is your target audience? Who is your perfect fit client?
Yeah, great question. I love working with businesses and entrepreneurs at different levels, but I can tell you my sweet spot, which is working with entrepreneurs who are just trying to get to that first six figure. They're somewhere between their first six figure and their first 5 million. Now, I know that seems like a huge jump, and it is, but there's a lot of different things within each of those levels that I help people with every single day in understanding their true legacy and how to build out their legacy in their business and live and build their business and their life with complete intentionality and purpose, and to make the shifts that they need to make within that range of their first 6 figures to their first 5 million that really have the greatest impact on the world, which is why I started down this whole road of really truly building out everything that I've built out within the legacy, services and products and things that I offer. And I literally teach how to build a legacy globally every single day. And I absolutely love it. It's not just enough to build a business, but what are you building the business for? What's the purpose? And not just, I want to help people, or I've gone through this, so I want to help people through the journey, but to really step into that deeper understanding of the global impact and what you're actually going to be doing with that. And then having those right strategies in place that actually help you accomplish that global impact, not just throw spaghetti at the wall with random strategies, with, helping people without really understanding the blueprint that it needs to get there.
You saying that now it makes perfect sense about Think and Grow Rich. You're affiliated directly with Think and Grow Rich World Tour, correct?
Yes, I've actually been asked to speak on the live stage tour and their virtual stage tour, and several masterminds and several different opportunities over the last, time's gone by so fast. I want to say over the last 6 or 7 years specifically. And I teach all of the different principles, but one of the principles I get asked to speak on the most, 2 of them actually, are desire and persistence. And I was on a live stage on a live tour several years ago where I taught about persistence, and I added to that, which was consistent persistence. You have to have consistency in your overall formula for success in order for the persistence to actually even work. And then that understanding that connection between that desire that you have within you and how you are persistent in that, no matter what comes your way, no matter who comes your way, what the challenges are, but to really understand that process. But it's interesting because I started down this path of building out what I call my 8 steps in legacy, and building out the passion that I had for helping businesses in legacy. And I got on the phone with the executive producer, and there's a whole persistent story with that. But he said, I don't know who you are, but I have to have you on my stage.
That's amazing.
Yeah. And it just and we've developed this beautiful relationship. And so I actually started down this path before I got involved with Think and Grow Rich. And so then when I did, it was just like a no-brainer. Of course we have to collaborate efforts. And so I'm very grateful for all of the collaborative efforts that have taken place with the foundation and with the Institute over the last few years. And it's been absolutely incredible, because more people really truly need to do those deeper dives and to really understand who they are, who they serve, the problem that they solve, but their overall purpose, their true deep purpose of what they were created to do in this world. And let me tell you, it's a lot more than zeros in your bank account.
My whole journey in the last 4 or 5 years, well, probably most of my life, has been about trailblazers, blazing the trail and being the torchbearers, that just, you see the potholes and the speed bumps and the dark corners before the rest of us do. Mm-hmm. And when I met you, I was like, that's a trailblazer right there. She's an amazing torchbearer. So the Olympics just recently ended. And when I watched the opening ceremony, to me, that's what it's all about. It's carrying that torch, and blazing the trail. And I want to thank you so much for, 1, hanging out with me today, but 2, being our trailblazer for 2024, because you're absolutely amazing. I know we've touched on this much of your story, and I can't wait, to just spend time and learn more about you, because you have just the biggest heart. We knew that sitting in the studio with you. It's like, here's somebody that could just be focused on what she's doing and her family and be done. But you're always conscious. I could see that you're looking and listening. How can I help? What can I serve? And how can I help you navigate? And if I don't get a chance to tell you again, I want to tell you now, thank you. Thank you for what you're doing and what you're still going to be doing as an amazing trailblazer. You're the best.
Oh, thank you. I'm so honored and I'm so grateful. Thank you so much for your kind words, for your support, for the honor of the Trailblazer Award, for having me on the show. I'm so glad that we had an opportunity to connect in the studio. And it's just been a beautiful evolution of our collaboration and our friendship. And I look forward to many, many more opportunities to work together, to serve the world together. So thank you so much.
I can't wait. I cannot wait. You are amazing. You're the best. How do people get in touch with you? Somebody's out there right now going, oh my goodness, I need her in my life.
Yeah. LoriMcNeil.com. LoriMcNeil.com will take you everywhere that you want to go. Social media. I've got all kinds of free content, podcasts. I mean, LoriMcNeil.com takes you to get in touch with me on any platform.
Well, I can't wait to share the stage with you and honor you on between October 3rd and the 5th, on the evening of October 4th. You're amazing. Thank you for hanging out with me today.
Thank you so much for having me.
All right, everybody. I know I loved this episode. I hope you loved it too. If you didn't catch that and you're driving or whatever, don't yell at me. Just go to tigodirect.com. You'll find her there. Type in Lori, reach out to her and say, hey, I saw you on the 100-day challenge. I want to know more. I want to be a client. You know, maybe you have a stage you want to share with her. She's amazing. Just reach out to her. She'll reach back. It costs you nothing. It costs her nothing. It's just our bridge to make sure everybody can stay connected. All right. I hope you enjoyed this episode. You know I want you to come back next time. And as always, I'm Tigo. I'll talk to you. Yep. Tomorrow. Have a great day.